Hello and welcome to another Evenings with the Makedonski Narodni Prikazni. I'm Nick Sadovsky, your host. This is the show where we look back at some of our favorite episodes of the Makedonski Narodni Prikazni, take a look at them, have some laughs, it's a good time. Today's episode is a very special episode because this is probably my earliest memory of the Makedonski Narodni Prikazni. This is probably my favorite episode, but this is the one I have the most memories of. As always, I'll include a link to this episode in the description of this video. You can see it yourself unedited. Today's episode is titled Zenata, Puknala, Gavolot, which roughly translates to the woman that drove the devil crazy. Now, when we say the devil, it's not the devil, it's a devil, or more like a demon thing. Our episode opens with an older couple and a younger couple getting together for lunch. The younger couple heads up the stairs with the older couple following them. Well, let's just say she saw a bug on him and tried to shoo it away. Now the old man tells his wife not to make them a cup of coffee. The wife relents and says, just in spite of him, she's going to get up and make them some coffee. Now, while his wife is making coffee, he explains his relationship a little bit better with the other couple there. That's actually his sister and brother-in-law. That's not important to the story. What is important, though, is that anything he says, his wife will do the exact opposite.
Все što ќе речем да направи таа заинат наопаку прави. Ако речем жено направи ручек, таа заинат не прави ручек. Ако речем не прави ручек, таа заинат ќе направи. Ако речем жено дај ми да се променам, таа заинат не дава. Ако речем не се променувам денеска, таа заинат ќе ме промени самата. Ако речем жено постели да си легнеме, таа заинат нема да постели.
Не е убаво што ќе речам вака, брате, ама зошто ти понекогаш вака не удриш?
Damn, lady, I guess this is before feminism came to the selo.
Сакате шура раката малку да заигра.
Ти...
His wife comes back with the coffee.
По-убаво съм го направила. Како за свои луѓе?
Her kaima game is a little weak.
Нова убајна да донесеш уште малку ракија и мезе, аш колсун ќе ти речам.
She comes back with the coffee, and her husband asks her to bring some rakia and meze. She tells him no. Then her husband tells her not to bring any rakia and meze. Then she tells him she's going to bring the rakia and meze in spite of him.
Да донесеш, не пијам. Неќе ми да ја мириснам, а не пак да ја пијам.
Сега ќе донесам ракија, има да се напиеш со го.
Не, донеси мртнала од софрата да носиш ракија.
Ајде да те видам како ќе ме запреш. Ајде
ќе те запрам, али ќе станам и ќе те запрам.
Ќе донесем.
Нема да донесеш.
Ќе донесем.
Нема да донесеш.
That is a hell of a marriage to have. The younger couple is shocked to discover that this is their relationship.
Препоарно со мечка да живееш отколку со ваква жена.
Ајде.
She comes back with the meze and rakia, and he tells her to also bring some lunch. I think you guys know where this is going. She says no, and then he says don't bring any lunch, and then she goes to get some lunch. Now, after witnessing this back and forth, his brother-in-law has an interesting idea. He knows of a house not too far from them where a bunch of Gavolot live, and his idea is trick his wife to go there and stay with the Gavolot, and they should probably scare her and kind of set her straight a little bit. Now, in this show, you really don't want to mess with the Gavolot. They tend to be, you don't want them in your life. They're problems.
Има една стара воденица и таму се кријат ѓаволи.
The next day, the old man gets ready to go to the fields. His wife stops him and asks him what he's going to do. He says he's going to the fields, but she better not make him lunch.
Немој слушај ѓаволот да те тера да месиш денеска зелник и на ливада да ми го носиш за ручек.
Which she, like clockwork, tells him that she's gonna make him lunch, whether he likes it or not. It's a little bit of a mind game because, well, as he is gonna explain to us in a minute, that's exactly what he wanted her to do, make him lunch.
Море, јас одва и тоа го чекам.
I'm not totally sure if he's talking to us or himself. A little while later at the field, his wife brings him that lunch that he said he didn't want.
Ливада мори се коси,
Чекай.
а не се стрижи.
Чекай,
Што чекай бе, зашто сум дошол со косата мори?
Чекай.
Hot
Ти ме
Neva
научи.
talk.
Слепа сакаш да ме правиш?
Now they end up getting into this weird argument about Nivata. I mean, I say personally pick your battles, but they're an older couple. You're on shorter fuse when you're married that long. Basically, he tells her that he's gonna run into the forest and kind of just live his life out there, away from her, just so he doesn't have to deal with her anymore. Her being her decides she's gonna run into the forest in spite of him, so he can't live out there himself. And they are both on their way. I think they get lost a little bit down the mountain. What? There she goes. Well, they'll figure it out. And he's off again. Now this is where the story gets pretty interesting. They catch the attention of 3 Gavoli that are kind of been overseeing everything that's been going on. And well, as it stands, they have a buddy who's single and ready to mingle. The lady is actually headed in the direction of their buddy, so they decide they're going to head on over and give their buddy a little bit of a heads up. 2 of the Gavoli head on over, they find their buddy, and they tell him that a beautiful woman is on her way. He's excited because, well, he's ready to get married.
Jedan маш.
Што иде?
Маш.
Како бре маш? Што ќе мене маш? Ма.
Жена.
Жена.
Не, сакаше да се жениш. Да се жениш, не.
Уба. Слушај, ајде, бегај.
Бегам, е?
Ајде бе, бегај, сокрите се се, ма. Море да се сокријам и јас.
He hides in the house so he can surprise his new bride.
И ако сакаш да знаеш, стрижена е.
She runs in front of the house and announces that when you're at the Neva, it's called Srijinga, damn it. The Gavel then comes out and claims his new bride. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work out too well for him. I wonder what that big wheel's for.
Баш по пашката ме погоди. Што жена, значи сум си одбрал токму спроти мене. Токму таква како ја што си сакам.
Now the lady does kick the Gavel out of his own house, but in the Gavel's defense, he is a pretty romantic guy.
Жена мила, ти си ми најубава и најмила и најжена најлоша жена на свет.
Слушај,
Now the Gavel wants to have lunch with his new bride, but the lady, she's not too thrilled about it. Also, she's a little surprised that she's apparently now married to a Gavel. Now they decide to have a good old-fashioned branch fight, and well, the relationship kind of continues from there.
Ајде мавни, ајде. Ова ти е за вчера.
не, овој ме удри, а сега полудев. Еве ти.
Now the lady does actually get a hit on the Gavel. She hits him right in the tail. It hurt.
Сега опашката ќе ти ја скинам ѓаволска да знај.
Ме погоди. Оти масо толку големи камења мори. Видја какво е. Па ти си била мори многу лоша. Ај ќе видиш. Ќе видиш, јас кој ќе те мавнем со еден камен. Шо,
I think that's like the opposite of a mic drop. Now this right here is why this particular episode is so famous or beloved, at least for me. I've watched a lot of these episodes, and Gavoli come and go all the time, but the Gavoli are always the ones kind of pulling the strings and making the mischief. They're always kind of the ones in charge. This lady is the only one that I know to ever get one over on the Gavoli, and that is really an accomplishment.
Не можам. mi se plaći.
Now, the other Gjeveli have witnessed this entire thing go down, and they are crushed for their friend. They have never seen another Gjavel take this kind of punishment before, and it's hard to watch. God, that guy's terrifying.
Kako može, be?
Now, to bring it back to the beginning, the Gjeveli notice that everything that the Gavel tells this lady, she does the opposite.
Što će kaži? Sve što će kaži, ta opaku vrt.
Abe žena.
Now we cut back to the Gavel. He looks terrible. His hair's all gray. He just looks defeated. He spent the night outside like a dog. And he's just begging his wife to let him back inside the house.
Me vnatre.
Внатре сакаш.
A, vnatre.
Сакаш.
Sakam, mnogo sakam vnatre da si vlezam.
Нема.
Oti? Oti nema.
His wife comes out and warns him that if she lets him back in the house, he better not ask to go back outside again. And then the Gavel insists that you let me go inside, I want to stay inside, that's where I'm going to be. I love these kind of jokes because we all know what's going to happen. It's not going to end well for him. Wait for it. And there he goes. The poor Gavel leaves his home defeated. He does this really depressing walk back to his buddies.
Tuka ste?
Tuka sme. Kako si, prijatelje?
Nikako.
Nikako, znajeme.
So the poor Gavel is just feeling sorry for himself. Really, there's nothing he can do at this point. They all kind of go back and forth, and I'm just gonna I love their entire conversation here. I'm just gonna let it play in its entirety.
Ova tvoja ta, nic se tera, nic se vodi.
Nic se trpi.
Prijatelju, bagi vreme te gledame kako se mačiš sa ta žena. I si veli me, ne,
Makvo čudo
nema.
ne bilo, niti će bide.
Što, prijatelj, kaj se najde, bre, ta belja za mene da se zanete?
Golema belja, golema.
Golema belja.
Taman, rekao me.
Evo, ja sam rekao, taman će se od domaćina, će se oženam.
Saglam žena.
Uboda mi bidi. Ko, to, što da ti kažem?
Abe ta izleze.
Abe pođao i šuvela ti od djavolite lugete, ne?
Tako. Obele.
Odnea obele, prijatelj.
Odnea obele, pa be maka. Вие не знаете, вие гледате, ама не знаете що е мака.
Знаеш що най-много ми е криво? Не личиш на дявол, бойче.
От тебе?
Оти, не се гледаш каков си.
Господ да ти е на помощ.
Kako Gospode? Dosta. Cijelo vreme se prašuvam kako ke trgaš, Sonja, kako?
Kako, prijatelj? Ke trgam, ke trpam, ke se mačam, ke se tepame, dur sme živi.
Dur ste živi.
And while the Gavel just pretty much says, what else can he do? Him and her are just going to be at each other's throats for the rest of their lives. We cut back to the original husband, cheersing with his sister and brother-in-law, kind of celebrating that his wife is now gone and he's pretty much free. I gotta admit, guys, this is a kind of a dark episode. I can't say it really portrays women too well, but I mean, it's all in good fun. Trust me, there's 1,000 episodes when the men are just proved to be the dumbest guys around and all the women are outsmart them. So they go back and forth. This personally is one of my very favorite episodes. This is the one I mostly remember as a kid with my parents and watching this one. So this episode is truly a special episode to me. What'd you guys think about this episode? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to see. If you have any suggestions for episodes you want me to cover, go ahead. You can either leave me a comment or message me on Facebook or on YouTube. I'd love to chat. I'd love to get different ideas for this show. Makedonski Narodni Prikazni continues to be one of my all-time favorite shows when I was a kid and to this day. That being said, I'm Nick Tsarovsky, and this has been the Makedonski Narodni Prikazni. Good night.